The Mozart Conspiracy by Scott Mariani. When I first read the Da Vinci Code, I was shocked to discover that the author, Dan Brown, was a former lecturer in writing. While the book itself was immensely enjoyable, I found the writing itself to be poor. So it's with much thought that I titled this review The Timu Version of the Da Vinci Code. Scott Mariani makes Dan Brown look like a Booker Prize-winning author. The book is terrible, both the plot and the way it's written. The first 3 or 4 chapters are all seemingly unrelated. Chapter 1 is about someone witnessing something, recording it, putting it on a CD, and sending it to someone. See how vague that all is? Chapter 2 takes place in Turkey 11 months later, and is about Ben Hope, the main protagonist, rescuing a little girl from kidnappers. Chapter 3 is about Lee Llewellyn, the damsel in distress, contacting Ben Hope, and Chapter 4 is set in Northern Ireland 15 years earlier. From Chapter 5, things pick up and begin to fall into place, but it's not well told. Not well told at all. Unlike the Da Vinci Code, where the plot revolves around working out clues supposedly left behind, the Mozart Conspiracy has little to do with any mythology surrounding Mozart, although there are some clues that the characters try to decipher. Mozart was supposedly a Mason, and his death has, apparently, been shrouded in mystery. Was he killed by the Masons? Was someone else behind it? These are questions this book poses, but doesn't even attempt to answer. The main protagonist, Ben Hope, is contacted by a former flame, Lee Llewellyn, an opera singer who fears her life is in danger. He changes plans immediately and goes to find out what the problem is, and from here we have a predictable, formulaic plot. Lee's father had apparently found a letter with information about Mozart's death. When he died, he left everything to her, and recently on television she announced she was going to write a book about what her father had been investigating. Suddenly her life is in danger. Poor Lee, though, is unable to put 2 and 2 together. In fact, it's quite startling how stupid this woman is. There are many scenes throughout the book that beg a belief due to her stupidity. Even back in 2008, when the book was written, people knew about tracking phones. When several attempts have been made on her life, she still insists on joining Ben. I found myself wanting her to be killed just to get her out of the way. One of the clues they're given, and I use that word with reservation, is a video of a man being ritually sacrificed and his tongue cut out. The video is on a CD-ROM, and what a palaver it is to see and show this thing to anyone. The book was written in 2008, when smartphones were out and when camera phones had long stopped being a novelty, yet it doesn't occur to either of these dimwits to copy the video from the CD to a phone rather than rely on someone else having a computer they can use. The video itself has been recorded on a phone. Think about how good phones are today at recording in low light conditions. Hint, they're not. Now think back to 2008 and what the quality must have been like then. And yet people are supposedly identifiable from this video shot in a dark crypt lit by candles. Another piece of evidence they have to go on is the letter, but they only had a copy of it, which has since been burned, so they need to track down the original. This is utterly boring. There's no tension. In fact, at no point in any of this book is there any tension. There's a subplot about an Austrian policeman and his daughter, but again, I didn't care. The book draws heavily on the Bourne films, not the books, the Bond films, and the Da Vinci Code, but it's a poor imitation of all of them. The writing is poor, not helped by strange Americanisms throughout. People's weights are given in pounds, and someone uses a skillet to bash someone over the head. Why? Are British frying pans not up to the job? Did they need to get something imported from the US? The narrator is poor, and for most of the story he actually sounds bored. He gives a half attempt to pronounce Salzburg the German way, but then he pronounces the Austrian newspaper Die Presse as if D was an English word, die. For the Austrian characters he very much does them as if they were Germans in allo allo. Italian words are horribly mangled. The only character he truly differentiates is Lee Llewellyn, the singer. Everyone foreign sounds the same, all the English speakers sound the same, and the guy working at the Italian opera sounds like Captain Bertorelli, again from allo allo. One female character is described as having an Indian accent. I thought it was Lee again. The book goes on forever. There's so much backstory, so much description, so much detail, it's just tedious. And then when you think it's over, in chapter 63, you realize there's still about 50 minutes left to go. The book is life-sapping. I bought this in a 2-for-1 sale, not realizing this was the second book in a series. I'll be more careful next time. Would I buy another book written by Scott Mariani? God, no. Would I buy another book narrated by Colin Mace? No. All in all, I'd give the book a 1 out of 5, and I'd give the narrator a 1 out of 5 as well. How about you? Have you listened to this story or any of the other books in the series? Did you find it thrilling? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe as I publish a new review every week. Thanks for listening.